hello. We are here with Can-Am Tier 2 for Baku Street Circuit. As unfortunately we just go on to the wrong drive at the wrong time, just clicking pit exit. Who was first? Where the bloody hell did that go there? Right, let's get everything up quickly. Right. I say Clint potentially. Yeah, so Clint is first out on track in a minute. We'll sit on board him for the opening lap of the session and see what sort of benchmark can be set for every other driver today and open our qualifying times. Well, open with what should hopefully be for a fairly decent opening lap. We've got a bit of a smaller grid today as well. Not many people fancying this race whatsoever, and to be honest, I don't blame them whatsoever. Castle section is absolutely horrible. Baku isn't exactly, in my eyes, most fun tracks to drive. So, 14 drivers today, a nice small, not really small, but still small compared to previous weeks anyway. And I am absolute moron. Cheers, Dawson. There you go. I'm a fucking idiot. Oh wait. There we go. Luckily, not much has happened. We're only on our first driver's lap. So, Clint out first. We've got Exception MJ, who's reserving for the Saubers today. We've got Mike out on track. Panda, William, Clint, I believe, just tapping the wall on the exit. I'm not sure, was that the driver behind? Mate, Castle's horrible at times. It is not fun. And is Clint going to make it to line with enough battery to the end? Just about, with a 1:40.1 to open the timings up. Exception breaking straight into the 39s. That is a solid lap time for the opening stages here. His teammate Jay just into the 39s as well. William hitting the 39s. Some very, very close times at the minute. Icy heads into the pits, but has had some decent qualifying recently. Looking for let's get this up quickly. As we know, was looking fairly strong last season, and has I want to say he started this season fairly well as well. Right, well, good. That's what I was looking for. His start to the season so far. Currently peaked 3 in the standings. He has had best qualifying, currently 4th, so looking to equal or better today is getting some Taiwanese heading into the pits for this time around. Another reserve driver here. Not too sure who this driver is, but we'll see how he goes through this next half of the lap. Looked fairly decent through castle section, kept it away from the walls nicely, and up the hill and round he goes. How will sector 3 play out for him in a moment? In the Alpine today, who has he taken seat for? So he does go into P9 at the minute. A decent lap time to start with. Again, not sure who Tadu is, but fairly decent lap time so far of a 140.6 up there. Well, matching Aero Knight's time in a minute, so looks to be could well be a decent midfield lower point scorer driver. Nice little mix into tier 2 as well. Brings some more competition into that midfield places as well. So let's see how he does shortly in the race. We have got 10 minutes of qualifying. We've got Maverick currently just finishing a lap with a 42.1. A little bit sliding on the exit of turn 1. Not exactly how we'd want to finish that, as I see just not having the best of qualifiers there in the background, just behind his teammate. Has a moment through turn 1, but he's all good. He has got a bit of time now to get round and go once again. MJ on an out lap. We'll see how he gets on very soon. Will currently in P6 in the Ferrari, about to head into the pit lane as well. A lot of drivers just making their way through and just making their way through now for either second laps or, depending on how they feel, could well be last laps for them, with probably about 8 or so minutes. Some drivers could potentially risk not going out for any more laps after this one. So Clint, just starting another lap, is getting a bit of toe off of I believe Jay's car at the minute, because Exception will be heading round for another lap in a minute. Clint through sector 1 looked okay through that first bit that we saw. Is currently a 10th and a bit up on his previous time, and is a purple sector 1 so far. He is roughly 8/10 off Exception at the minute. Gets very close to that inside wall through castle section. Does manage to carry on through down towards these fast left-handers into a heavy braking zone. Over the curb he goes, keeps out the wall, and only just as well. Down towards the end of sector 2, he is actually lost some time through sector 2. Tin Man Rowdy, yeah? I think I have him. Um, unfortunately, no. We will get Tin Man in before the end of the session. Exception has just smashed another rapid time with a 38.9. He's just gone even quicker than his previous lap. That is genuinely insane right now. Aha, I did get in. Ah, perfect. Happy days. So we are up to 15 drivers now. Should be a interesting race coming up. It was going to be interesting anyway, but Baku likes to throw surprises. Sorry, did I go through the menu too quickly? Oh dear. So how is Panda doing? Sorry, he's a little bit down on his time. Is actually not got much battery fuel left at the minute. Let's go to Icy and see how he goes through this lap. A 36.2 for the opener sector. Not too bad whatsoever. Looking with that current pace, probably looking at a rough 141 over the line, but swinging it through castle section like it was nothing. Fair enough. Down towards the heavy braking zone into this horrible left-hander. Chuck it as close to the wall as possible. Down towards the final sector we go. It is basically, as we all know, a straight line, and avoid the little kinks through that part of the circuit as well. Heading towards the start-finish line, DRS open, battery getting absolutely destroyed down there, down to a 42.0. Decent time there for Icy, as previously struggled a little bit on his other laps. and into a nice P12 so far, just ahead of his teammate as well of Maverick Spawn. So the two Astons at the back at the minute, and gonna be a tough race for those guys. William though was a few tenths up through sector 1. Not sure how what his time was through sector 2, but we are heading towards the start finish line now. Will he, I was about to say, will he make any dent towards exception? He is half a second up, down to a 39.1, a very, very good time for William in what is his first season in Can-Am, and showing Ferrari exactly why he was signed to the team at the minute as well. Looking very, very strong for his debut season. Here is Mike in P5 at the minute. In the Mercedes, how is he getting on so far? I think he might. It's interesting tactic for them, how he's gone about using the battery. We'll come back to him in a minute. Jay is in, just starting it up. Clint, no, heading towards sector 2 along with Mike. We'll see how they get on there. Clint is half a second up so far, heading towards the low 139s at the minute, and Mike in 5th place as well. These two look extremely close for their times at the minute. We'll go towards Mike in a moment. Clint goes up to P3. Mike jumps into the pits. Clint being the first driver to take the checkered flag as well. Who is next across the line? Will it be? It is not William. He is heading into the pits. It's the two McLarens heading, will be the next drivers across the line. Exception way down this time, I believe. Jay might actually be, I believe Exception might be helping his teammate out at the minute. So this could have damaged Jay a little bit there. He is out of battery and crossed the line. He has gained a huge chunk of time as well, half a second almost, up into P3. That is fantastic teamwork from the two McLaren drivers there, and so far a decent qualifying for them. Here is Will, currently 8th in qualifying. Exceptions currently on provisional pole. Tadu has gone up to 7th, and a lot of movement at the minute as well. Will unable to improve, well, has improved on his time a little bit, keeps him P10. Mike drops down to 9th place. Clint up into 4th, Panda in 5th, Aero into 6th place, Buddha in 7th, Talu in 8th, Mike in 9th, Will, Maverick, MJ, Icy, Tin Man 7, rounding off the grid with Exception and William, in the top 2 spots. So, with the race just around the corner, we will be back in just a moment. So, sorry about that, we are back with just the end of the formation lap. We do have our 5 red lights, and righty ho, here we go. We are underway for this Baku Grand Prix in Tier 2. Exception gets away off the line extremely well. William and Jay following closely behind. The two Williams are trying to get past Red Panda as well. So it is extremely close actually between a fair few drivers. Mike getting past Aero, switching places once again, and Aero just sorry, it wasn't Aero, it was Mike just squeezing around, making contact with himself, and I'm not sure who it was, but they have all managed to survive and come through Sector 1 fairly well. Exception just pulling a second away from William in a minute. Through Castle we go. It is nowhere near as I was about to say nowhere near as tight for the drivers through there as we saw who just lost a bit of an end plate. Oh, and there goes the Aston Martin of Kenny, I believe, Icy having a moment through there. Exceptional does lead at the end of lap 1. We are well and truly underway here now. So as we come to lap 2, it is Exception, William J as your top 3, Panda Buddha, Clint, Aero, Tadu, Maverick, Will as your top 10, 7 Mike, Icy, MJ, and 10 Man lead coming up towards the back of the grid there. Gaps starting to open up towards the back of the field as well, but still 4 cars having a very good fight there as well. Exception getting close to the wall on exit, a fair few drivers there doing the same sort of line as the race leader at the minute as well. Let's sit with these leading 6 cars. They are extremely close at the minute. Clinto has just dropped a little bit out of DRS for Buddha to try and keep himself in this fight for a podium early on. There is the possible strategies, either a 2-stop or a 3-stop, which 3-stop seems a bit mad around here, but who knows what the tyre wear will be like in 6 to 8 laps time. Although, let's have a quick look, see what tyres everyone has started on very quickly. So, Clint, Aero, Maverick, Will, all on, and Icy all on the hard tyres. Everyone else on the medium tyres for the start of this. Icy just jumping into the pits, a difficult start for the Aston Martin driver so far. Clinto has squeezed back into DRS. Will Icy, he is taking a new front wing there, so a difficult start for him. He's gonna have to either do a magical drive on the mediums for 2 stints, or potentially head for a 4th stop, or a 4th set of tyres, sorry. a few drivers locking up. We are watching Buddha slowly close that gap. His teammate though has dropped off a little bit. This top three only 1.2 seconds apart at the minute. J William exception giving us another, not exactly going to say close battle, as although William is going towards the other side of exception there for turn one. The exception closes it off nicely and towards T2 we go. It is going to be a close battle. It has brought though Red Panda a little bit closer. Can Panda bring himself and Buddha into this fight to cause a bit more of a chaotic fight for this lead? Although William is doing his best, it is 2 versus 1 with the McLaren versus Ferrari at the minute. Williams' teammate is up a few places actually, I believe, in P8. So will making some early moves in this race as well. So Seven's moved up. Riles has moved up, not to be confused with the other 7 in Can-Am. So Riles has moved up 6 places, so far the biggest winner in this race. The top 3 are unchanged. Panda has moved up a place, Buddha's moved up a couple, Clint having a tough start here as well. Tadu has moved up a place. Obviously Will and 7, Will is 7, Maverick has also moved up. So a few changes in this opening start. William sneaks down the inside this time around. Didn't work on the outside last time. Has worked for the inside this time around. Gets past exception for the start of lap 5, and now exception does have the DRS. Will he try and make a move on William? Into turn 3 we go. Not this time around, stays behind him and will probably sit there now till the main straight, heading towards turn 1 shortly. So we have got another couple of pit stops happened. Aero has made a stop. MJ's currently in the pits as well. Icy having a moment out of turn 1, I believe that is. It has caused 4, as the 2 McLarens make contact, it has caused for a full yellow flag at the minute. No safety car or anything, and we'll probably get back to full speed in a minute. The 2 McLarens though just backing each other into, I'm not sure what's going on there. So there we go. The yellow flags have disappeared. We are back to full speed racing. Where are the other battles for here? The 2 Williams are... Sorry, 2 Williams. The Racing Bull of Red Panda, the Williams of Buddha fighting for P4 at the minute. Taru is closing the gap on Clint at the minute. Mike and Maverick are swapping places. 7 has also just jumped into the pits. So a lot of early, a fair few early pit stops being made. Only 6 laps in. Tyre wear must be way higher than expected for this race, and It's crazy, really, if you ask. In all honesty, like, tyre wear's grim round here. It's the worst, I swear. So the field has spread out by quite a bit. Not too many battles happening at the minute. The closest so far is between To-Do and Clint, just ahead of these guys here of Will, Mike and Maverick. Unfortunately, Maverick is slowly dropping off, and Exception and Clint have both boxed. It gives To-Do gives a chance for To-Do to move up into 5th place. Mike and Maverick moving up as well. Advantage to Exception on these two ahead at the minute of his teammate and William. How much will the undercut actually pay off? For Exception, he's going to have, want to hope, quite a bit. For William and Jay, though, probably not so much. See how quick these guys can cut through the pack and make something happen for them both. So Exception's just gonna make a move quickly into turn 7, makes the move quick, also making a Will had a moment. So Exception already up in 7th place, only has Mike in his way before a 10-second gap between himself and the top 5 there. To-Do is going to try and make a move in a second as well on Red Panda. Unless one of those boxes now. To-Do not really doing too much at the minute. Heading into the pits, looked like he seemed to back off a little bit there. Jay and William as well, both into the pits. Let's see where Exception is. He's just coming towards the main straight now. Will potentially retake the lead of this race. Not quite. William gets out just ahead. That extra couple of seconds that William was able to pull away from the two McLarens has paid a huge advantage to him here. He is at 1.5 seconds ahead of the pole sitter Exception. Jado just behind as well. That pit stop just a little bit too not quite quick enough for him, sorry, and is still close behind his teammate, but it has also brought Maverick and Mike well into this fight again, is what for potentially a higher spot. They have got Buddha and Red Panda yet to stop in this race. Mike and Maverick actually Mike, Maverick, Will, Clint, Riles, Tim Man all yet to stop as well. So a huge shuffle to come in these next 2 laps, I would think. So Mike making some ground on the Aston Martin of Maverick now. Half a second between them as they head towards the DRS zone. What is Mike able to do? He has, they've both stayed out. They are going to try and go towards turn 1. Mike just not quite close enough this time around. We'll have a second dose of DRS in a moment though. And we do see Panda pit for a fresh set of hard tyres. Buddha stays out. That gap is just under 9 seconds now to P2. We are still currently watching Maverick battle out for P5 with Mike. 6 tenths between them at the minute. One of only 2 proper battles going on at the minute between these 2 drivers, and Red Panda versus Aero Knight at the minute. Not much separating these 2 guys either, so let's jump towards them 2. And what has happened there for Red Panda? That is not ideal. He's just come out on the fresh hard tyres. Not ideal at all for the Racing Bull driver. So Maverick Mike Will has also entered the fight for P5 at the minute. William setting a 42.6 in this race so far, the fastest lap currently, as Mike jumps into the pits to get rid of those horrible 9-lap old medium tyres. But still staying out on his mediums along with Miles, and they go side by side between Will and Maverick. That is a decent overtake round the outside there, in not really a corner you would do that at for turn 2. Maverick fighting back though, staying inside. Will staying around the outside. They have just gone side by side through 2 corners. That is unbelievable driving so far from these 2. A brilliant fight. Maverick just nicking back ahead now into turns 7 and 8. Not 7 and 8, sorry. Into 5 and 6, 7 is coming up now here with... Will just locks up at turn 7. Not exactly the ideal situation for the Ferrari driver there. Unfortunate for him. Still 17 laps to go. Plenty of time for Will to come back into this. He hasn't exactly dropped too much time at the minute either. Still roughly 3 seconds from Aero. He can fight this back towards the end of this race. And Buddha now heads into the pits. We are seeing the 2 McLarens for places once again in this race. A interesting fight for these 2 drivers. Not often are they they're often up towards the podium places, these 2, but they're not often fighting this hard against each other at times in races either. So this is a very good team battle going on. Hopefully they can keep it clean now till the end of the race. A couple of random moments between them earlier on, but hey ho. We have got a and they've just pulled off from Max Verstappen and Danny Ricciardo. Fantastic. Not sure, like, dear me, we have got a safety car out at the minute though. Not really sure why. That is a bit confusing. While we... Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening there. So William and Exception both jumping into the pits from the safety car. This could pay off extremely well for William. He hadn't, he had already boxed. It was Buddha that hadn't boxed. But no, it paid off for Buddha last lap. He is actually on the fresh hard tyres currently. William now is well on a fresh set of hard tyres. He's got a huge jump on the McLaren of Exception, though we are going to see this pack completely bunched back up and probably see another 10 to 12 laps of racing, hopefully when we get back underway. MJ currently taking the gamble to stay out on those 7-lap-old hard tyres. They are currently the oldest tyre on the grid by roughly 3 laps at the minute. So could we see MJ come in fresh set of tyres for the final 14 or so laps as it stands, or will he try and nurse those tyres to the end and possibly make something happen? So MJ gets rid of the old hard tyres for a set of fresh ones. Jay has stayed out. Probably will take these tyres to the end now. I don't see him giving up a potential so I don't see him giving up a potential P1 now. He has got William and Buddha and Exception all on much fresher tyres than his. Exception on a much quicker tyre, medium as well. So an interesting 13-ish laps to come. Who realistically now it is anyone's to go for. Buddha's tyres likely to warm up quicker as well than William. Jay's tyres likely as well to warm up much quicker than William, but they will die off a lot quicker as well. In probably 5-ish laps time, they start losing a lot more performance, and then that will no doubt be William and Buddha's chance to capitalise on that. Exception though will have a much harder task towards the end of the race with those medium tyres already 2 laps old at the minute. Granted, we are going at half the speed we normally would be, but for another 12 and a half or so laps on those tyres, it's going to be extremely difficult come lap 20-ish to probably keep that on the track. He may have to do one more stop. Maverick, in a very similar boat, will also in a similar boat as both of those guys. It's gonna be difficult. Clint probably in the best position to make a lot of positions up, along with MJ. Their tyres are gonna have that little bit extra performance come the end of this race. We are almost ready to go back racing. Clint and Will just trailing, only a couple of corners behind now. Could we see the safety car in this lap? I wouldn't say madness as such. Maybe the two McLarens actually. That they decided to put off Ricardo and Verstappen, but not take each other out, luckily. But it's been quite a respectful race actually. I believe it was either Mike and Maverick or Aero and Panda going side by side through turn 1, 2, 3. That was a nice little battle to watch. But we are back underway after the safety car. Jay leading us away. William and Buddha in Exception all in tow. Exception trying to squeeze down the inside there of turn 1, not quite making it happen that time around, making it happen this time around, going side by side with Buddha up into P3. Exception goes. Tadu has closed the gap into P5 at the minute on those much older hard tyres. A little bit deep into turn 3 for Exception, keeps it though in P4 at the minute, chasing his teammate down. William has quickly got ahead of the other McLaren of Jay, as it is Ferrari leads the, oh my, these two McLarens at the minute, my god. I don't know if they're trying to become Max and Danny Ricciardo from 2018, or if they're just trying to scare their team principal right now, because jeez. Fives, you need a word with your drivers, I think. My god, dear. So Jay's lost a position to Buddha. Tadu is chasing on one of the McLaren drivers. This could be a crazy 11 laps to go. A huge train coming towards now turn 1. This, well, basically every single driver bar 2 or 3 of them at the minute in this train of cars. Jay is that leading car at the minute. He is trying to break the toe from everyone else. He has got all of them with DRS behind. He's gonna have to do some next level defending to put away from these guys, and he's managed to do it here in the short straight. We've just seen a car go and do a couple of donuts there, taking on a bit of a side quest through this race, because why not, I suppose. So Buddha looking to try and get through down the inside there, not quite happening this time around. Is still chasing though. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 cars currently all chasing one driver of Jay at the minute. This is going to be a very tough ask for Jay to be able to keep P3 down this main straight. He's done extremely well to keep a lot of battery for this as well. What can the McLaren driver do? He's 6/10 ahead of Baku at the minute. Has he got enough of an advantage to keep that gap behind? I think, if anything, Baku was more under pressure from Baku than he was even trying to pressure Jay at the minute. Let's head further down this pack at the minute, and that was an awful time to change over as Baku, we caught the tail end of that. Baku just overtaking Jay for P3, and Jay locking up into turn 4 there, making contact with the wall, and that is unfortunate for him as a bit of wing damage that is going to be costly through castle section and the fast kinks heading towards turn 1 shortly. Sector 3 is going to be a little bit, or the tail end, the start of sector 3 and the tail end of sector 2 may be a bit difficult from here on out. Just trying to keep an eye on. That is one hell of a train at the minute. P3 all the way down to P11 is this DRS train. Aero though just dropped off out of that first left-hander in sector 3. Is Jay going to go for a new wing, or will he stay out? He has stayed out, but it has cost him a fair chunk at the minute. That is not going to help him come the next DRS straight, as the Alpine of To-Do and rivals in the V car are very close behind at the minute. Are they able to make a move on Jay there? Probably not this time around. Both drivers aiming to make having a look either side, and nothing doing this time around. Who is the closest on track other than these guys at the minute? There is a couple of... Ow. Let's head towards this battle for P10 at the minute, because we've got Aero, MJ and Will all in this little fight for the final points position currently. So Aero currently, well, in the fight for P9, sorry, currently Aero is in that nice little position with MJ and P10, Will in 11th. What is gonna happen between these guys? Gap has opened up slightly through sector 2, probably able, depending on how much of an advantage both drivers can get through this final sector. It is MJ though. He has pulled a massive gap between himself and the car behind, caught up massively to Aero in 9th place. Aero jumping into the pits with 8 laps to go. Tyres just not feeling it whatsoever for him at the minute. Oh, why did... Okay then. Oh dear. So, Riles is closing up to 7. He's to Jay, sorry. Jay's dropped a few positions, not exactly what he would have needed after starting this race extremely well. That wing damage costing him massively. The tyres starting to drop off a little bit compared to everyone else around him, bar the Alpine ahead of him. The 2 V cars behind him, both chasing him down. Panda a little bit further behind than his teammate, but Riles half a second with a DRS zone to come. How is Jay going to handle this? He's defended fairly well so far when he had the massive lot of cars behind earlier on. Can he do the same with just the 1 car behind? Not quite able to this time around. Looks as if he just pulled over. It looks like he just pulled over to let him go, but another position loss for Jay, down to P6. He may as well. He would have probably lost less time pitting for a new wing than staying out. Unfortunate for him at the minute. With a few laps to go, it's been a tough second half of this race. Panda chasing them down now as one of them just clips the wall on the exit there with turn 3. How is, I believe it was Panda that clipped the wall slightly. So at the minute only 2 close battles on track between Tadu and Riles and Panda and Jay. All for these positions of 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Let's see how both of Riles and Panda getting past their respected drivers they were battling then. Riles up into 4th, Panda into 6th currently. How is to do try and do something, but not able to do much this time around. Jay is just holding on to the back of Panda at the minute. Clips the wall on exit of turn 4. Loses a small amount of time though, but still half a second behind the V car currently, as Riles pulls away from the Alpine and is now just it's been flicking between 9 tenths and 1.1 over the past couple of corners. So we'll see if Riles can keep that gap, make sure he stays ahead of the DRS second mark. Did Tadu get any DRS this time around? Doesn't seem as if he did. That's gutting for the Alpine driver. Jay, on the other hand, does get DRS. Will he try and look for the move? Not this time around. Will have a second attempt at the DRS in a minute, as the Alpine gets the chance to make a move on the leading the car at the minute. Not able to be done this time around. Jay moves to the inside, tries to stick the nose in, but not able to this time around. Backs out of it and keeps just follows Panda around for the next half a lap. Not many overtaking opportunities in this part of the track, so stays with him. Just keep tabs on him really. Buddha into second place. I didn't even notice how close these drivers were. In the 7 has closed the gap now to half a second, and oh my. Holy shit. That was a huge crash. I've never seen someone hit the wall so hard and their rear wheel come off. That was huge. Jeez.
No. And you wonder why.
So the field has massively spread out now after that.
No.
Mate, that was absolutely gutting for you. I did wonder what happened on the safety car. I thought it was a bit of a Verstappen-Ricardo moment for Baku. But it's just that, yeah, your crash was huge. I've never seen a rear wheel come off like that in round Baku. In all my time of watching races, or even racing around here. That was a huge crash. Just a crazy one, really. We've got 2.5 laps to go. William looks to be... Actually, I'm not going to say that. Commentator's curse is the worst thing to possibly happen. William currently P1, Buddha P2. The rookie on the grid of Toulouse is in P3. Riles in P4. Panda 5th. Mike in 6th. MJ back on the grid for a reserve drive. good to see him racing once again. In 7th place, Aero in 8th, Jay in 9th. McLarens have just fumbled massively this race. That is a tough one to take for the team. Will in 10th, Clint in 11th, Maverick in 12th. Currently not a easy race for Maverick at the minute. Well, not an easy race for Clint either, really. Has dropped the most amount of positions. A difficult one for him. Riles, on the other hand, a huge jump in positions. This race up 11 places, started in 15th position and doing a very good job there in 4th place currently. We are watching William, although a few battles could be opening up towards the end on this final lap of the race shortly. Jay squeezing past the inside of, I believe, a lapped Maverick. Nope. Why did that look like an Aston Martin for a moment? No, it should have been MJ. Did not look like a Sauber from the back then. Quick look at the time penalties this race as well. 7 squeezing in to 3rd place in a minute. A few. Jay making his, or getting rid of his 10-second penalty there as well. Serving his drive-through site, so he will now come out in. So he will stay 9th place at the minute. Mike looks to be trying to make the move now on Panda, currently in 5th place. Could he jump to? Could he be making the move to P4 in a minute? They have got. This is going to be a close 3-way battle in this final stage of the race. This is anyone's for P4 at the minute. But a Panda, Mike, all very, very close. Riles could well be moving into the top 2 in a minute as well. Currently fighting the rookie of Toulouse. But swapping places with Mike as well in the late stages. William just cruising home now in the lead of this race. Oh my day, God, don't do that now. And he wins this Baku Grand Prix. A fight to the line now between Toulouse and Riles, who is going to take P2 in this race. It looks to be the Alpine so far in his debut with Can-Am makes the podium. Riles in 3rd place, Panda in 4th, Mike in 5th, MJ back in the race seat in 7th, Aero in Mike in 6th, MJ in 6th, Aero in 7th, Buddha in 8th place, Clint in 9th, Jay in 9th, Clint in 10th, Will in 11th, switches places with Clint into 12th, and Maverick across the line to round off what was a fairly good, somewhat clean from what I could see, the best part of the race. A few strange moments between the two McLarens, and yeah, a very good race for Riles, moving up 12 places in the end from P15 to the podium positions. a very good race for the rookie of Toulouse, and must say really a fantastic race for William overall. Very composed drive overall, and which one is it? Not too many incidents at all in this race, surprisingly, with how tight and tricky the circuit can be. So there is your overall grid, well, your finishing positions for the race, and we will likely be back for our next race in the Netherlands, and it is a sprint race next week. So thank you all for watching. We will see you at Zandvoort, and until then, have a good week and goodbye.